Hi, Gooby here. Today I'd like to talk about how ignorance is not bliss. Today it's raining really hard, so I'm out here by myself. Doobie's not here with me. She's gotten a lot better. She's got her strength and her spunk back, but she's still on some immunosuppressant drugs. Now she's weaned off almost completely off one of them. She's on another one as well. So I didn't want her to get sick. And I really care about her. I really appreciate living with her. So she's not out here. She's at home with my wife. But I'm out here, and you're joining me in this forest. And it's really cool to hear the rain hit the leaves here. There's salal bushes right next to me. These really, I guess you can't see. Yeah, I'll just show you. These are salal bushes. They have nice berries, kind of cinnamony in the summertime. And you can dye things with the berries. And we got western red cedar and sword ferns and I'm not sure what tree that is. It's like a shrub. Oh no, it's a salmonberry bush. Yeah, salmonberry bush, I think. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be out here in the rain. I'm glad it's raining. We haven't gotten much rain because the climate's changing. And November has been unusually not rainy for a city that's known for rain. Seattle is known to be rainy like a lot. Not in the summertime, but in the fall and winter time and springtime. And we just haven't gotten much rain, so it feels good to have some rain. Well, talking about ignorance and bliss. What do I mean by bliss? I guess if I say ignorance is not bliss, then what do I mean by what's bliss to me? Bliss to me is like, it's just a feeling. It doesn't last forever. It comes and it goes. It's like a feeling of peace, satisfaction, happiness. Like, if you're really, really tired, but you've been trying to stay awake because you're like in class or you're at work or you have to drive or something, and then you're just like, your eyelids keep like coming down, and you're like, oh no, I gotta stay awake. Oh, but I'm so tired. Oh, I gotta stay awake. Oh my gosh. And then the moment when you just give in, hopefully you're not driving, because that wouldn't be bliss. But like, let's say you were hiking and it wasn't raining and it was warm outside, and there's a beautiful tree and there's grass underneath, and then you just decide, I'm just gonna take a nap. And then so you just lay down in the grass underneath the shade of this beautiful tree, and there's sunlight filtering in but not directly hitting you, and there's just calm around, and then you just let yourself drift into unconsciousness. That moment right before you drift into unconsciousness, that's bliss for me. When you just give in, you're like, oh yes, and you fall asleep. That's bliss to me. Is ignorance bliss? I don't think so. In fact, I think ignorance precludes a lot of bliss. It prevents it. And so I'm going to try to make a case for that. Well, I can go off of personal examples and examples that I see. Personal example. Well, I thought the world works a certain way. I thought the world I thought the world, I thought that what people tell other people is the truth. I thought that the way that society is organized was for a very good reason to make people happy, to take care of people, to make people get better, like hospital systems, doctors, medicines. I thought that. Now, in some regards, it is. But it's a system that's based inside a capitalist system that wants to make profit. And when you have a health care for people, then you want to make them better. But your main goal is to make money. Well, you actually want to keep people slightly sick so that you can keep making money off them. Because if they actually get better, if they know how to get better without your pills or surgeries or consultations or imaging, then if they figured it out and they got better, well, you can't make money off of them. So, yeah, I didn't realize that until a long time. A lot of my life was invested in being a doctor. Now, you can say, well, Gooby, while you were doing that, you were making a lot of money. I mean, wasn't that bliss? Just, you had a well-paying job that people respect, and then you didn't really understand like what you were doing and your role in society, but you were making good money and you were respected. And no, I was not in bliss. I was not. There was this cognitive dissonance that subconsciously was eating me. It was eating me from the inside out. I was not feeling good, and I didn't know why. I did not like being alive. Things were scary. Things were enraging. I was just sad. I didn't even know why I was sad. That's ignorance. Ignorance. Ignorance can be both a willful ignorance and just like unwillful, but it prevents you from seeing the full picture. It allows you to keep doing things that hurt yourself and other people. I think that prevents bliss. So the saying that ignorance is bliss, I don't think is true. I think it's actually a lie. There's a lot of things that are lies in the way that our society works. Okay, here's another one. I read a story about a kid in school, and I think she was in high school. But a bully in the high school made a deep fake porn image of her. Now, for those of you don't know what a deep fake porn image is you take AI and then you take someone's picture, and then the AI, you can make them naked. And then you can post it, and it's got their face, so it looks like they're naked. But they didn't take a picture like that. It was fabricated. You can like take it from someone's profile picture on Facebook or something. Or like if someone posted a picture with friends, say they're at the beach with like swimsuits on. Well, you can take that picture and you can manipulate it. And then you can post it. And it causes great distress to that person whose face is on it, because it looks real. I mean, that's a deep fake. Now it's a new thing, and there are laws that are being written to try to prosecute people that do this. But it's a pretty new thing, so people are getting away with it. But what happened was this girl punched her bully, the bully that was making this photograph, or hit that person. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. And the aftermath was that the girl who was the victim of this deep fake image got expelled from school. not the person who made the deepfake image. The victim got expelled for hitting the other person. Now, yeah, I think hitting someone else, assaulting somebody else, is not cool. But so is making a deep fake image of somebody to bully them. That's not cool either. But that person doesn't get kicked out of school. Now, what does that tell people who are in school? That tells people that, well, the school doesn't care about bullying. The school doesn't prevent it. It just turns a blind eye to it. I tell students that, hey, yeah, I just gotta get used to being abused, and no one's gonna listen to me. And if I strike out at my abuser, well, there's going to be very harsh repercussions. Now, I don't think that that's a mistake. I think that that's on purpose. That is the way that our system works. System meaning the society, the civilization that's very hierarchical and run by people that have a lot of money and power, and they want to keep it that way. And it's very abusive. It doesn't make sense to the majority of people. And so you've got to train people that they just got to take the abuse, and if they speak up, they're going to get harshly punished, because violence only flows from top down. It should never flow from bottom up. And if it does, there are some serious repercussions. I mean, just look at Luigi Mangione. He's a good example of violence flowing the wrong way, and how people at the top just lose their minds about it. Yeah. Luigi Mangione is a very good example of doing the opposite of what people are taught in this society and trained to do. He's like the bully. No, he's like the girl that struck the bully. Yeah, they're making a huge example out of him. They gave him like this ridiculous perp walk with like guards with assault rifles and everything and body armor. It was crazy. I mean, he murdered somebody. I don't think murdering somebody is the right thing to do. But the person he murdered was the head of insurance company, health insurance company, and health insurance companies are there to make money off of people's sickness, often denying care. People die. They don't get the care they need. It bankrupts people. The way that this healthcare system is. If you don't have health insurance and you get in a car accident, well, you can be just ruined. Your whole life is ruined, because I know one of my friends, their daughter got hit by a car while she was riding her bicycle back from work. And she wasn't working enough hours to have insurance, so she was uninsured at the time. And the hospital bill was all she did was she hurt her knee and her hand, and then she ended up in the hospital, and the bill was like over $100,000 for somebody who, just a kid, an adult, but a young adult. Yeah, I know a patient of mine that I treated for a broken back, because he was in a car accident. He was driving and another car hit him, and it broke his spine in two. And I put screws and rods in his back to straighten out his spine and put it back together. I think just the ambulance, air ambulance, because he took a helicopter, I think that just the air ambulance was like a couple $100,000. But all the healthcare, the hospital stay, the surgery, all the medications, all the x-rays, the CT scans, the trauma care providers, everything. It was like, I think it was like $800,000 or $900,000 or something like that. And the kid is like 19 years old. And you're working a minimum wage job. Well, he can't work anymore because he's recovering at the time because he was recovering from his back. It's like these companies, these corporations, they turn the screws on people to squeeze the life energy out of them, squeeze the money out of them, and hand it to the rich at the top. And people die, people suffer. These insurance companies are part of this. So, yeah. I'm not supporting violence. I'm just describing the system that teaches people, trains people to just accept abuse and not do anything about it. In fact, work harder to please the abuser. Ignorance. Ignorance is not bliss. If you remain ignorant, then you just are in this system, and then you're like, why do I feel so bad? Why does my life suck? I don't even know. Now here's one more example, and then I'll talk about what if you choose to try not to be ignorant. I'll talk about that, and that'll be another talk. One more example, and yeah, this is so frustrating to me. And this is political, so I'm not sorry if it hurts your feelings if you voted a certain way, because this is what this talks about. You know, people who voted for this current president, thinking that he would make grocery prices cheaper, that he would make life more, just the cost of living better, that he would make health insurance premiums go down, that he was a president of peace and wouldn't start new wars. All of these things have been the opposite. Food prices have gone up, rent is going up, jobs are decreased. Jobs, well, the pace of increases of jobs has decreased, but I don't think they've. Well, actually, October was the highest number of layoffs since 2003 for the month of October. And this year, I think there's been like 1 million layoffs in the United States. The one that really gets me about, and I'm not saying that like the Democrats are any better. I'm just saying that, well, actually, I think they are better in some regards, because they actually are trying. Some of them are trying to make life better for people, but both parties, I think, are in the pockets of the wealthy, and so it's really like when you vote, it's like two sides of the same. Well, it's not quite two sides of the same coin, because one is just openly for fascism, and then the other one is like fascism light. But the one that really gets me is the Christians that voted for this guy who they say was going to, that he stands for Christianity. He stands for making a God front and center in the country. And I just look at the people who say that in disbelief. And I have people very close to me who said this. And I just look and I'm like, oh yeah, the guy who has been charged with sexual assault, who has committed sexual assault, who says that he grabs him by the pussy. That's the guy that's going to save Christianity and put it front and center in this country. The guy that, well, ironically, the same people are like all about this. I don't know if you remember this QAnon stuff about some like pedophile ring of elites, and they were so convinced that it was like that this guy Trump was going to unmask the pedophile ring, hurting all the children. And they thought they wanted him to go and expose this pedophile ring. But the more and more information comes out, the more that their guy is that guy. This whole Epstein thing. Like, I mean, it's not proven. But, I mean, if you look at all the emails and the birthday cards that he wrote to Epstein, all the video that they have together, laughing and joking, dude, the guy knew. There's no way he didn't. But like, the people that think that he's going to save Christianity, I don't even know what they're thinking. From the very beginning. Now look at our country. We're like speed running Nazi Germany, but like in American version. It's like the dumber it's just as hateful, but dumber. That's the American version. I mean, you can see things coming from a mile away. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. But like, I know the people that in my life who said those things. And some of them are like, oh, yeah, I made a mistake. That guy's not a good guy. There's some people that I don't talk to anymore because their capacity to self-reflect is very, very low, and they hurt people around them. So I don't talk to them anymore. I don't know how they feel. But I do know how they feel, because I know from talking to other people that say, I don't know why this happened to me. I'm such a good person. I've made videos about that. Thinking you're a good person. I'm such a good person. I don't know why that person treated me this way. But they're not a good person. They're just a person. And then they do things that hurt people, and they remain ignorant. It's a willful ignorance. It is a delusion, a self-delusion. And they hurt people. And they don't know why. They don't know why people don't want to talk to them. It leads to confusion and anger and frustration, and they don't know why. That is ignorance. So, what do you do if you choose not to be ignorant? Well, I think you try to understand what's happening in life. Like, what is being alive? Why is society structured this way? Why is the kid who's the victim get expelled when the perpetrator doesn't get expelled. I'm talking about that deep fake image thing. Why do people vote in? Why do people vote in people that are for sure not going to be in their best interest? Like, why is that? And then it's like riding a bicycle and sticking a stick in the spokes, and then you like flip over the front handlebars. It's like you did it to yourself. It's like, why? I did it to myself too. I went into medicine and did neurosurgery and spine surgery. I thought I was doing a good thing. I mean, I was doing some good things. I was helping some people. But I was part of a system that that wants people to be sick so that you can keep making money off them. I have to temper that, because there are a lot of good doctors who are doing their best to help people, and there are people that get helped by the medical system. But the medical system, as is structured, is a corporation. It is corporate medicine, in the United States at least. Getting people healthy again is sort of the secondary objective. It's sort of like a byproduct of making money. That's what I think is the truth about the medical system here. So if you try not to be ignorant, if you try to like educate, learn about stuff, talk to people, listen to other people's stories, listen to your own story, like what happens? Do you get bliss? No, I don't think bliss is related to whether you're ignorant or not. I think ignorance kind of prevents it from happening. I think you have a higher chance of having times where things are blissful, because you can kind of understand what's happening to you and reach a sort of acceptance that this is the moment I live in and this is how things are at this time, and you accept it. But it's not an accepting that this is how it's going to be forever, because things change all the time. Everything's changing. This world is changing. This scenery is changing. There's rain coming down. There's puddles down here that I hadn't seen just like last time I was here a couple weeks ago. Everything changes. So I accept that. I accept that everything changes. I accept that this moment is a unique moment. And it's changing. And it will never come back. Everything will be new. Everything's new in every moment. And I have choice. I have choice in what I do, and what I choose to believe, and what I choose to do. I have choice. Now, it's not like I can choose to change the president. It's not like I can choose to make Christians actually behave like Jesus Christ in the Bible taught how to behave, because a lot of them don't. I don't have that power. All I have is the power over myself and what I choose to do. I choose to be a whole person. I choose to not believe that I'm a good or bad person, because I have both, and I can exercise both good and bad things. I can choose both good and bad things. I choose to try to understand being alive and all the uncomfortable truths that come with that. There are a lot of uncomfortable truths, like the fact that we're destroying the one home that we have, that we're in the middle of a sixth mass great extinction. I wouldn't call it great. It's just the sixth mass extinction of the current eon. There are several I think there's 4 eons that this Earth has been through. This last eon, this is the 6th mass extinction, and it's human caused by our love of energy from fossil fuels. That is a very uncomfortable truth. It's hard to sit with. It's hard to sit with the idea that we are destroying our home. It's hard to sit with the fact that I live in a society that has a capitalist structure that is very good for the people at the top, but very bad for everybody else. It's uncomfortable because how could things be any different than how they are? How could things be any different than having this banking structure that if you want to own a home, now you can maybe get a 50-year mortgage. You can essentially be a slave to the bank. It's slavery, just not without saying it's slavery. It's an uncomfortable reality to see. And so I think that's where the saying ignorance is bliss comes from, is that if you're not ignorant, wow, there's a lot of really harsh realities to look at. But I don't think if you're ignorant is bliss. I think it's actually a bunch of confusion and terror and frustration and just like not knowing what's happening to you because you chose to not know. I think it's much better to know. I'm not saying that I'm not ignorant. There's a lot of things that I'm ignorant about, but I try not to be. Yeah, I don't want to be ignorant. I want to try to understand. And yeah, sure, it's hard to look at a lot of things, but I think I can understand better what's happening to me and the people around me, and I can reach an acceptance of the moment that we're in, and an acceptance that it will change by our choices. And in that way, there's a little bit of bliss, knowing that I have some control, not a lot, but some. Well, that's my societal rant for today in the rain about ignorance. Yeah. Bye.